Well, since all the Yu-Gi tubers are talking about it, I guess it's my turn to throw in the hat. Why? Well, because the topic's about me. I am the target. A Master Duel-Only player that has never touched grass, much less went to a social function like a paper Yu-Gi-Oh tournament where I'm expected to socialize with people and be in arm's reach the guy who just flipped Teekboo rivalry against me? But I digress. If you haven't heard, Konami Shareholders had a little bit of a meeting. Basically, Master Duel players are not becoming long-term buyers in the OCG or TCG. But why? The Master Duel to paper pipeline has 3 stages. The very first one is Master Duel player retention, which is basically just whether or not a player will quit when they get hit with an Adamantipator combo for the first time. Second is the jump from Master Duel to paper. And finally is paper player retention. So why aren't players jumping over, and why aren't they staying in paper? Well, the very first and biggest one, cost. When Master Duel players are willing to play quote-unquote Yu-Gi-Oh, the stun decks, Numeron, and literal self-TK decks to squeeze every gem they can out of Konami's teat, you're not convincing them to spend $500,000 or more on a YCS topping list. Want to talk about a different problem? How about the fact that they aren't even the same game? It's no secret that card releases are very different from the OCG and TCG compared to Master Duel. In fact, I think half the fun of different card release schedules is seeing which archetype enjoyers are being held prisoner well past their due date. Where the odd schedule release really hurts is the fact that you might not even be able to play your favorite deck. If you have the biggest crush on Tier Limit's Kit Kalos, and I mean, who do you think you are? That's my wife you're talking about. You'll be really disappointed when you whip her out in paper only to get laughed out of the room for playing a banned card. You may as well have waltzed in with Pot of Greed. I want to end the discussion on a positive note. The shareholders talk mostly about the tournament scene and how to get players in those doors, but at the end of the day, profit and supporting the game are not exclusive to attending a YCS. I know I've talked about never entering a tournament, and I haven't, but I've personally spent probably $100 to $200 on singles and sealed product. And I'm sure anyone heavily invested in Master Duel has thought about buying product, whether for a collection or just to open on cards for old time's sake. As long as Master Duel thrives, the Yu-Gi-Oh brand will thrive with it.